Let's be completely honest for a moment. There are certain things women secretly wish men would do. Things they almost never say openly because they worry about how it might sound or how it could make them appear. They want control, but only in the right amount. They want attention, but only from the right kind of man. And many times, the very actions they claim they dislike are the same actions that make their heart race faster. Today, I am going to reveal 7 dirty things women secretly wish men did based on dark female psychology. These are not about disrespect or crossing boundaries. They are about understanding the raw and primal side of female desire, the side she hides behind good manners, modern beliefs, and phrases like, I don't like that or that doesn't matter to me. Stay with me until the end because number 7 reveals the core instinct that controls female attraction more than anything else. Before we go any further, let me make one thing very clear. This is not manipulation. This is not about tricking women or pretending to be someone you are not. This is about understanding deep psychological patterns that drive human attraction. These patterns exist whether we like them or not. The truth is, most men move through life completely unaware of these hidden desires. They listen carefully to what women say they want, but they ignore what women actually respond to. And that gap between words and behavior is where most men lose attraction before it ever has a chance to grow. If you are ready to understand the real truth behind female attraction, if you are willing to look beyond surface level advice and into the psychology that fuels desire, then let's begin. She secretly wants you to take control with confidence, not with force. Even the most independent woman feels a strong pull toward a man who knows what he wants and leads naturally. She may say she values equality, and she genuinely does, but emotionally she is drawn to masculine leadership. When you make decisions calmly, guide situations smoothly, and move with quiet certainty, you activate something instinctive inside her. This is not about ego or power. It is about safety. She wants to feel your confidence because it allows her to relax. Think about her everyday life. Each day she makes hundreds of decisions: what to wear, what to eat, how to reply to messages, how to handle work pressure, how to manage people. She spends most of her time in problem solving mode. When she is with you, deep down, she does not want to make another decision. She wants to let go. She wants to breathe. She wants to feel that someone else is holding the direction. When you say, I know a great place, let's go, instead of asking her to decide yet again, something shifts. When you guide her gently through a crowded place, when you act without hesitation during uncertain moments, you give her relief. You give her permission to simply exist in the moment. But leadership is not about control or giving orders. It is about inner certainty. When you are grounded enough that you do not need her approval, she naturally feels comfortable following your lead. The man who constantly asks for permission, who hesitates at every step, who keeps checking if he is doing the right thing, drains her energy. Not because he is bad, but because he adds to her mental load. True leadership is a gift. It allows her feminine side to come out because she trusts your direction. She secretly wants you to tease her in a playful way, not in a harsh or mean way. Most men fall into two extremes. They are either overly nice or emotionally distant. Women quietly crave the balance in between. A man who can playfully challenge her without trying too hard to impress her. Teasing creates emotional tension, and tension is exciting. It makes her think about you even after the interaction is over. It shows that you are not intimidated by her beauty or her personality. When you tease her lightly, you communicate confidence, social awareness, and emotional strength. You show her that you can handle her energy without losing your center. Imagine two different reactions when she says she is running late. One man says, "That's okay, take your time." The other man says, "Let me guess, you changed your outfit 5 times." The first response is polite but easy to forget. The second one creates a spark. It makes her smile. It makes her feel noticed. Teasing works because it creates small emotional ups and downs, and those moments stay in her mind. But there is a clear line that must not be crossed. Playful teasing comes from warmth and genuine interest. Cruel teasing comes from insecurity. Women sense the difference immediately. One builds attraction, the other destroys it. Teasing done the right way builds chemistry faster than compliments, because compliments tell her what she already knows, while teasing reveals who you are. She wants to chase you, even though she will rarely admit it. This is a psychological truth. People value what they work for more than what is given freely. When a man is too available, too eager, or too predictable, attraction fades. Not because she is unkind, but because her brain no longer connects him with excitement. A woman may say she wants consistency and attention, but when she receives it without effort, desire slowly weakens. She wants a man who is present but not needy, a man whose life does not revolve around her. Human beings are naturally wired to pursue what feels slightly out of reach and pull away from what chases them. This is not manipulation. It is basic psychology. The man who replies instantly every time, who is always free, who drops everything just to get her attention, removes all mystery. The man who has responsibilities, goals, and a schedule naturally creates space. That space creates curiosity. She starts thinking about him more. She begins to initiate contact. She invests emotionally. The key difference here is authenticity. This is not about ignoring her on purpose. It is about truly having a life that matters. When your time has value, your attention has value too. When she has to earn it, she appreciates it more. And the more she invests, the deeper her emotional attachment becomes. She secretly wants you to have a dark side, just enough to feel dangerous. Women are attracted to contrast. They want a man who is kind but not weak, calm but not passive, gentle with her but capable of intensity. A man with no edge feels safe but boring. A man with controlled darkness feels exciting and protective at the same time. This does not mean being aggressive or unstable. It means having boundaries, standards, and the courage to say no. It means not avoiding conflict when it truly matters. Women have evolved to look for men who can protect and survive. When she senses that there is strength beneath your calm exterior, her attraction grows stronger. She feels that you choose to be gentle, not that you are gentle because you have no other option. That difference is powerful, and most men underestimate it. She wants you to be emotionally grounded, not emotionally reactive. Many men believe showing strong emotions makes them more attractive. In reality, emotional control is far more appealing. When you stay calm under pressure, when you do not overreact to her moods, when you remain steady during disagreements, you signal strength. Emotional stability tells her that you can handle life. It tells her that she does not need to manage your feelings. This creates trust. Women are drawn to men who are emotionally balanced because it allows them to express themselves freely without fear of chaos or emotional explosions. She wants you to desire her, but not need her. Desire feels flattering, need feels heavy. When a woman senses that your happiness depends entirely on her, attraction begins to fade. When she feels wanted but not required, attraction grows stronger. This is because need creates pressure, while desire creates choice. A man who chooses her from abundance feels confident and powerful. A man who clings to her from fear feels exhausting. The strongest attraction happens when she knows you enjoy her presence deeply, but you would still stand strong without her. And finally, the deepest instinct of all. She wants to feel chosen by a man who could choose others. This is the core of female attraction. Being desired by a man who has options makes her feel special. It activates competition instincts and boosts self-worth at the same time. This is not about sleeping around or showing off. It is about carrying yourself like a man who is capable, respected, and desired. When she feels that you chose her intentionally, not out of desperation, her attachment becomes intense. This instinct runs deeper than logic, deeper than values, deeper than words. It is the foundation of attraction itself. When you understand these truths, you stop chasing validation and start living with confidence. You stop listening only to words and begin watching behavior. And when your actions align with these psychological patterns, attraction stops feeling confusing. It starts to feel natural and effortless. This instinct goes back to survival. Women were drawn to men who could protect them and their children from danger. A man who was only gentle, only kind, only soft would struggle to protect anyone when real threats appeared. But a man who carried strength, who could be fierce when needed, who held controlled darkness inside him, was a man who could keep her safe. In today's world, this instinct shows up in a different form. Women want a man who is strong in the outside world, but soft with her. They want to see you face conflict with other men without shrinking or backing down. They want to see you set firm boundaries when someone disrespects you. They want to feel that beneath your calm surface, there is something powerful, something controlled, something that could be released if the situation demanded it. That quiet strength is what makes her feel safe, excited, and deeply drawn to you. Necessary. But what truly makes this attractive is not the darkness by itself. It is your control over it and how you handle it. Any man can be aggressive or loud, but a man who is capable of being dangerous and still chooses restraint, that is real mastery. A man who can dominate a situation yet chooses gentleness with her, that is true power. This is exactly why women often feel drawn to reformed bad boys, to men with rough or difficult pasts who have found peace within themselves, to men who carry intensity in their eyes but kindness in their behavior. It is this contrast that becomes impossible to resist. She feels safe because you are soft and careful with her, but at the same time, she feels excited because she senses there is more to you, something deeper under the surface, something darker, something only she is allowed to see in small, controlled glimpses. Darkness is not about violence or anger. It is about depth, emotion, and experience. And the deeper that depth is, the stronger her curiosity and fascination grow over time. Show her that you have layers. Show her that you are not flat, boring, or easy to read. Show her that you are not predictable in the way most men are. Show her that you carry many sides within you, light and dark, strength and softness, confidence and calm, danger and safety. That kind of complexity pulls her in without effort. It makes her want to understand you more. It makes her want to explore you emotionally. She feels like there is always more to discover, and that keeps her attention locked on you. She also wants you to ignore her just a little sometimes. This may sound strange or confusing, but it is very real. If you give her constant attention without breaks, she slowly starts to feel overwhelmed or bored. But when you step back slightly, when you do not always text first, when you seem busy living your own life, her mind starts working harder. She begins to wonder what you are doing, who you might be with, and why you have not reached out yet. That wondering creates emotional tension, and emotional tension fuels attraction. This is not about being rude or distant. It is about balance and self-respect. You are showing her that your life does not revolve around her. And that is exactly what makes her want to step into it. Before this gets misunderstood, let me be very clear. This is not about acting cold, distant, or playing calculated timing games just to look interesting. It is about real independence. When you have a life you truly enjoy, your interests, your goals, your work, your friendships, and your purpose, you naturally will not sit around waiting for her messages. You reply when you are available, not the second she texts. You have evenings where you are focused on your own plans. You have days where she does not hear from you because you are deeply involved in something that matters to you. And strangely enough, that natural unavailability makes you far more attractive than forced availability ever could. This works because attention equals value. When you give your attention constantly and without limits, you silently communicate that your attention is cheap and easy to get. But when your attention is limited, when it must be earned, when it is clearly invested in meaningful things, it becomes valuable. And people, especially women, are naturally drawn to what they see as valuable. From her point of view, if you are always available, she unconsciously assumes you have nothing important going on. But when you are sometimes unavailable, she sees that your life has direction and meaning. She begins to wonder what fills your time. That shift changes everything. She moves from feeling like she understands you completely to feeling curious about you, from feeling safe in constant attention to feeling a small amount of uncertainty. And that uncertainty creates emotional investment. When you are slightly unpredictable in a healthy way, she invests more energy because she wants to earn your focus and attention. Again, the key here is moderation. You cannot disappear for weeks or act careless and inconsistent. That is not attractive. That is unreliable. But being a man with a full life that sometimes takes priority over constant communication is deeply attractive because it shows you have options, direction, and purpose, and now she wants to earn her place in that life. She also wants you to tell her no sometimes. Many men believe that saying yes to everything will make her happy and keep her close. That belief is wrong. A woman quietly respects a man who has clear boundaries. When you say no calmly, without anger or guilt, you show her that you are not controlled by her approval. This is one of the uncomfortable truths of female psychology. A man who can walk away rarely has to. Saying no does not make you cruel or selfish. It makes you strong because it shows emotional independence, not neediness. Most men enter relationships looking for approval. They want to be liked, accepted, and chosen. That desire is natural. But when it turns into desperation, when you avoid conflict at all costs, when you give up your boundaries just to keep her satisfied, attraction slowly disappears. Women are not attracted to men they can easily control. They are drawn to men they cannot push around. When you say no to what does not work for you, when you stay firm in your values even if it disappoints her, when you protect your needs without apology, you show self-respect. And self-respect is the foundation of attraction. She may test you. She may push limits to see if you will hold them. She may ask for something unreasonable or create emotional tension to see if you bend. When you stay calm, grounded, and steady in your no, her respect for you increases. You show her that you cannot be manipulated. You show her that your frame is strong, that you have standards, and that you enforce them. This is why men who never say no, who always try to please, who live only for approval, rarely keep a woman's respect for long. A woman cannot respect a man who does not respect himself. Every time you stand your ground, you become more attractive because she is drawn not only to your presence, but to your strength. She feels safe knowing you are stable. She feels excited knowing you are not weak. That balance is powerful. She also secretly wants to feel emotionally owned, not physically controlled. This is where many men get confused. Women do not want control over their lives. They want to surrender emotionally to someone they trust. She wants a man who makes her feel claimed, not through force, but through presence and consistency. When you lead with certainty, protect her emotional space, and make her feel chosen every day, you give her the intensity she craves but rarely admits. This is where attraction turns into devotion. Deep down, she wants a man who can hold her heart, not through dominance, but through emotional depth. Even in a world that praises independence, women still long for belonging. Not in a controlling way, but in a deep and meaningful way. She wants to feel like she is yours and you are hers so fully that nothing else competes. This goes beyond surface attraction. This is real connection. When you truly see her beneath her defenses, when you accept her fears along with her light, when you create emotional safety where she can be fully open, she slowly surrenders. Not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. This kind of emotional bond is built through consistency, through showing up when things are difficult, through protecting her heart as carefully as you would protect her body. When a woman feels emotionally held by a man she deeply respects, her loyalty becomes strong and lasting. You give her the freedom to surrender because she knows her heart is safe with you. The moment she feels she can lose herself with you without fear, she is already yours, even if she never says it out loud. Now you understand the 7 things women secretly wish men did. Not dirty in a physical sense, but in a psychological and emotional way that creates attraction, intensity, and desire. Women rarely speak openly about these things because they fear judgment or misunderstanding. But when you read between the lines, you realize that what they say they dislike often pulls them in the most. This knowledge is not about manipulation. It is about understanding human nature. When you lead with confidence, set healthy boundaries, protect your independence, and build emotional depth, you are not playing games. You are becoming the kind of man women naturally move toward. Attraction is not logical. Desire does not follow clear rules. The heart wants what it wants. Use this understanding with honesty and integrity. Build real connections, not control. True power comes from being grounded, real, and solid in who you are. When you understand the hidden side of desire, you also understand your own worth. You show up differently in the world. You become the man women quietly hope to meet but rarely do. Stay strong, stay real, and remember, the most attractive version of you is the one that never tries too hard to be attractive at all.